my cribbo got too many rooms. Swish, I got shooters in the field, they running zones. When I switch, make some shake for me, stop playing. On stepping, I'm a rockstar and Ramones.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management. I am back for a new episode of the NBA Betting Insiders with my guy Cam and Mr. Smackington, Greg King himself. We are here for Game 2 breakdown, picks, and predictions for the NBA playoffs. We had an okay first round, Game 1, a little ho-hum, a little low-scoring performance from all of these players, which I just can't believe. But we're here to break down Game 2 for a better performance because we are locked in and ready to go. This is the NBA Betting Insiders. But before we get started, I got to tell you guys about one tool you really need in your toolbox if you want to take the next step in your sports betting career, and that is the Rhythm app. If you're looking to learn how to build sports betting models, it is the place for you. It's the only place that teaches you how to build predictive sports betting models. They cover everything from basketball, football. Now they have golf. They have an AI caddy that breaks down hole by hole in competitions. They even predicted every single NC State upset and their victory and their loss in March Madness. In addition to that, they just smashed the Masters this past weekend's golf tournaments, and they do live hole by hole AI predictions, which is just unbelievable. If you're looking to cash and looking to take the next step in your betting career, then Rhythm is the place for you. Sign up now. The link is below. It's free to sign up, and they have a 7-day free premium trial right now. But Cam, Greg, guys, welcome to the show. We're going to dig into this pretty much right away. We're going to go through all Game 2s with our best bets, and let's go ahead and start with the first matchup that we have. And that's going to be today at 7 p.m., the Magic take on Cleveland. And Greg, I know you have strong opinions about this game, so I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you to get your best bet on this Magic versus Cavs game.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, man, this Magic Cavs game, like I said, Game 1, it was a weird one. You know what I'm saying? Neither side really was productive as what I know of them to be doing during the regular season. Cavs coming off of injuries, you know, they looked at a little sluggish still, like no one was still 100%. And I'm gonna just chuck the Magic up to having like Game 1 jitters, you know what I'm saying? They had a lot of poor play from a lot of key players. Cole Anthony 0 for 6, you know what I'm saying? He only has some free throw points. Gary Harris also didn't score. That was a major blow for them. But today I expect them to bounce back. I expect them to surprise the Cavs, and I'm taking the Magic head up money line.
Oh, that is a play. Plus 185 on the Magic money line. Listen, I didn't have anything for this game because neither of these teams broke 100, and I'm not going to bet on a playoff team that can't break 100 points, even when you win the game. It was just disgusting. I turned it off after the first half of this one, and I'm glad I did. If I had to watch a 20-17 third quarter, I probably would have lost my mind. But Cam, anything for you? I know you don't have anything official. Any lean thoughts on this one?
Yeah, the only official play I had in this game was Wendell Carter over.
Oh yeah, right,
points.
Sure.
I think tonight, similar to what Greg said, I think tonight Orlando uses his depth to kind of separate themselves from Cleveland. I think they'll just try to outrun him, out-hustle him. I know Coach Mosley probably got on them a lot, but Wendell, he's cashed this 8 out of the last 10 games he's played. It's just been the last 2 games where he hasn't really cashed it. I think they'll actually kind of not necessarily switch up the lineup, but maybe somewhat of the rotation, get Wendell involved a little earlier, try to get Jared or Evan into foul trouble a little earlier. So I think Wendell could cash this pretty easily. So similar to you, I didn't really want to take a side or a total. I was like, let me just figure out what prop I like the most. So Wendell was the one that stuck out to me the most. And the Rhythm model liked it too. I think it was at 65% for the Rhythm model as well.
Oh, that's a good hit. Yeah, if Rhythm saying that, I'd probably just take it blindly. So
right.
Also, you got to think about it, right? They end up beating Orlando double digits. Why is the spread still only 5.5? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand they still respecting the Magic. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know it was just a bad Game 1. You know what I'm saying? That's the good thing about this being a series. You can't sit there and hold a team accountable for one game. So due to the fact both sides was poor, today I expect both sides to play a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love Orlando to prevail.
I think I have this right. Didn't every single home team win in
Mhm.
the
First time
round?
since 2013, right?
You know what's even crazier?
Right.
Same thing in hockey too.
Really?
NHL playoffs, all of them hit.
Was
All home
Carolina?
teams won.
Carolina
Yeah,
was at home. Was
Wow,
Carolina at
yeah.
home?
Carolina
yeah.
was at
Carolina
home.
was at home. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I think Winnipeg was at home.
Yep.
I think Canucks was at home.
Yeah,
Yep.
Vancouver was at home. I
Yeah, and
remember.
all the home
That's
teams won,
crazy.
and that's
game.
so that's
And my
kind of like a
Canucks-
concern for me in this one, especially because Orlando is just 1-6 straight up on the road. Their last 7 playing against Cleveland. So like even outside of this, Orlando has just struggled against Cleveland. 2-7, their last 9 overall. That's my biggest hesitation. But Greg knows his stuff, so if he's riding with Magic, I might have to take that leap with him.
in their last
so
in their total last 4 games, they're 2-2. Okay.
yeah,
They both have a game on the road and they both have a game at home. All right.
Yep.
But like I say, even so, due to previous what's going on with the Magic on the road, they was coming off of some late injuries as well. I just feel like the production of them coming into a playoff game, it was just jitters. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
They finally have a position and they weren't even in the play in. So you got to give them their respect.
Right.
But I like them to bounce back today, even the series for sure.
Love it. All right, moving on. Next game up, 7:30 tip. Sixers taking on the Knicks. Probably one of the most controversial matchups we have. Well, a lot of people are split right down the middle on this one. So, Cam, I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you to start because I know you have a best bet on this one.
Yeah, I like Philly +5 tonight. I think one thing about this Philly team, and I hesitate to say it sometimes, but one thing about this Philly team is they do have somewhat of some grit at times. But I think tonight is such a pivotal game in their season for them. Going down 0-2 to a rival like the Knicks, it's not really a nail in the coffin or anything like that, but it is a pretty deflating blow. So I expect Joel to come out pretty aggressive, but I really think it's the night that Tyrese Maxey will really actually shine. I think he'll have to kind of even out and outplay Jalen Brunson to get this win tonight. But I definitely like them +5. I think it'll be a close game down to the wire, or Philly has a pretty decisive win. It'll go one way or the other, I think, for tonight.
Yeah, I love that. I'll get to my plays, but Greg, I know you have a play on the total in this one.
Yeah, I love the under today. We seen, like I said, all these game ones was a little weird. I think the biggest thing is going to be that they focus on trying to keep Embiid as limited as possible due to him also taking that little spill last game.
After dunking on the whole team. Jesus Christ.
Maxey right now, they say he's questionable due to an illness. So I hope he takes some liquid IV. But I feel the D is definitely going to be a lot stronger today for this series. Remember, like I was saying, these couple series is ones that's going to go to the last 5 minutes of the games. But due to Embiid taking that spill, that kind of really hurt them with momentum, you know what I'm saying, and the pace that they were playing through him as it was, you know what I'm saying. Now we got to adjust. But I feel Cam as well, they should want to come out, letting them know, you know what I'm saying, we was right there still. Y'all didn't really handle it, like, you know what I'm saying, for sure. So it should be a close game again, but I definitely still think the under hits.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, well, you probably did. Embiid looked like he was on a different planet after he took that spill. His eyes were glazed over. He looked like he had a concussion to me. Honestly, somebody who's had like multiple concussions, he did look like he took quite a hit. And I had said this before, and I've been saying that my biggest concern with Philly has been the fact that if Embiid goes down, they are all set. We saw that team just went from 100 to trash as soon as Embiid got hurt in the middle of the season. So that's my biggest concern for them here. I do have a couple of plays on this. I took the over 205 at -140. I did buy it down a little bit, but the last few matchups between these two teams have seen it all go over. The Knicks over in 6 out of the last 6 games overall, 5 out of the last 5 at home, and the Sixers over in 5 out of their last 6. But a couple of things about the Sixers here. They're 11-4 straight up their last 15 games when playing on the road against New York. They're 5-1 ATS their last 6, 9-1 straight up their last 10 overall. And this Knicks team, I get that they are rolling 6-0 straight up the last 6, but the fact that they have been just dominated at home by New York makes me think that Philly might be able to get a Knicks home or steal a road win is what I mean. So I do have a couple of things. I do think the Knicks are going to win this game. But what I did was I took the Knicks -3 at -160, and I took the Sixers +8. I'm trying to middle this. So I've done it already once. I did it in the last game when the Heat were playing in the play-in tournament. I think against the Sixers. I can't remember exactly. But I did take that. I'm trying to hit both of these, and then I took the over 205.5. Just because I feel like it's so low. I feel like some of these offenses have got to get rolling and playing on back-to-back nights. That's usually when you see teams start to have a little bit of tired legs and defense start to take just the smallest step back. And that's all we need here is just the defense to not play as sharp because, we'll still see sharp defenses. It is the playoffs, but I think on a back-to-back, you might be able to get a couple of extra points just because they played last night. So again, I'm on Sixers +8. Knicks -3, and Philly, New York over 205.5. Next game up is tonight, late start, Lakers versus the Nuggets, 10 o'clock tip, Nuggets -285 on the money line, over under set at 224.5, and the line is -7 again. Cam, I see you have a play on Denver here. Why don't you go ahead and take over?
Yeah, I kind of finished up with 3 plays for this game. I like the under 224 tonight. Specifically when it comes to the under in this game, I think similar to this New York Philly game, I think it'll be a lot more it'll be a little bit more strategic from both ends. I think they'll slow down. But I also took Denver -7.5 because I think the Lakers have played a lot of games in the last few days, and I think with this high altitude, it possibly could catch up with them. Denver's 3-2 in their last 5 game twos. Specifically in early rounds. So I do feel as if tonight we'll find out if Denver is really set to become that back-to-back champ or on that road to trying to really dominate throughout the playoffs, or if it'll be very similar to what Greg is saying. It'll be more so a 7-game series where LA is kind of in each game. But I think because of the altitude, I think they may be able to take advantage of them early. If they get out to an early lead, I think Denver can cruise. And I also took Christian Braun over 5.5 points. I don't think similar to Wendell Carter. I think Coach Malone kind of comes out with a different idea of how to schematically get Peyton and Braun involved. So I see him easily getting 2 threes, if not getting an and one on top of 2 layups. With him having a good amount of slashing ability, if it comes off a pump fake and there's just a free lane. But those are my 3 plays specifically for this game.
Greg, I know you are on the other side of some of this, so why don't you go ahead and tell us why you are on what you are on?
Yeah, I'm big on the Lakers money line today to even the series. To me,
I can tell all the Lakers jerseys. You got 2 Lakers in the back. You're rocking one. I bet we can't see it, but I bet you have matching shorts on too right now.
I
too.
definitely have the Lakers.
I knew it.
Okay, listen. We saw game 1. Game 1, Lakers was on cruise control first half. Everything was in motion. Everything was gelling, let's say, so to speak. But the problem was too much D. Russell. And I feel he was due for a bad game. This is I don't personally feel the altitude has anything to do with them. This is nowhere they haven't been before. They know this city. They know how to adjust. But I feel the weak link for the Lakers down the stretch was a terrible D. Russell. And I just feel he was overshooting. When you already see that you're off, you should have just started pass or try to get someone else involved. And I felt that he was caught up in his little world of what he's been doing in like the past 8 games. You know what I'm saying? He has to adjust. And I feel maybe that's just the simple little thing that Lakers need to control today. LeBron was looking good. AD was looking good. Reeves was looking okay, you know what I'm saying? But D. Russell, 6 of 20 can't have that again, especially against this team. And I don't know if it goes under or not, but I feel the Lakers can't afford to be anything under 114 today to beat Denver. And if they was already on cruise control first half last game, I expect them to do the same thing, but they're just going to finish strong today. So,
Greg, it's funny you mentioned the first half cruise control, right? I'll say one thing first. D. Russell shooting like that reminds me of like when you're at a playoff or like a pickup game and you have the one guy who thinks he's really good and he just won't stop shooting. You know what I mean? And you're just like, stop shooting the ball, give it to somebody else. That kind of reminded me of that situation.
Yeah, he didn't got the green light to do it. So since you already have the green light to do it,
Yeah.
you can tell a person not to do it. You just have to take the good with the bad. But I just feel after the game, you know what I'm saying, adjustments will be made. He will be talked to. And I think he'll make better shots today that will cause him to get easier turnovers because he's really a good defensive guy. And I feel the Lakers should at least keep the lead majority by like +5 almost the whole game.
So I'll tell you, you had mentioned about the cruise control in the first half. So I actually took Denver on the first half, -2 at -150. I really like Denver here. What they did last night made me really question what the Lakers are doing. I get that they have all this talent, but I just feel like they have not been able to put it together. And I feel like they've been like that all year. While they've had wins and they finished the season strong, 12-4 their last 16, 6-1 their last 7 on the road. They're 0-6 straight up their last 6 games when playing on the road against Denver, which just tells me a lot. And I do think that they struggle when it comes to altitude, and playing on the road against Denver with that kind of stats kind of makes me think that, because when they are in Denver, they're even their points per game is lower. So the other thing I took is I also took, because I can never count out LeBron, and I can, like you said, they finish strong, right? So I didn't take a full game here. That's why I took only the first half, because I'm always scared of LeBron and AD and D Russell. I mean, that's a stacked team if they can put it together. So I took the Denver team total over 115.5 instead. Because if they are going to win, they're going to have to push the pace, and I think we're going to have to see more scoring and more defense in this game. So if we're going to see a Lakers win, I think they're going to have to score at least like 120 points in this one, and I don't think Denver is going to lose by more than 2 or 3 points, 4 points if they do. So I decided to attack the team total for the game, just a little safer way to play it.
Another thing I want you to remember too, man, the
Yep.
Lakers had a tremendous lineup change, man. Like, this is only going to be the second game they faced this starting lineup. So Denver has had to play different starters of the Lakers. So that's why they haven't really been consistent playing Denver. They haven't really found the right lineup. But I like this lineup. It was just, like I say, D. Russell hurt them.
Yep.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He was really the Achilles heel game 1. This
Definitely.
game, if he can turn it around, I'm telling you guys, Lakers will tie it up 1-1.
Well, I believe that you have a lot of faith in it. Taking a +230 money line dog, I mean, that is some belief. So I'm riding with you here. I think the Lakers, they have the quality, and you can't ever count out LeBron. So great stuff. Moving on though. Tomorrow night, 7:30 tip. Suns take on the T-Wolves. T-Wolves -150 on the money line, -3 on the spread. Over under set at 213.5. I'm gonna send it back to you, Greg. I know you love these dogs in game 2, so tell us what you think about this Suns T-Wolves matchup.
Okay, I'm definitely feeling. I'm definitely feeling the game 1 was under par for the Suns, to say the least. Maybe they was just due, saying Minnesota had to come out with some type of a fire under them, especially having, saying the type of record that they've had at home. But I don't think it hurts the Suns one bit. I think it makes the Suns more intriguing now. Being down 1 game in the playoffs, especially in round 1, it can do some things to you. So I feel like we'll definitely see D-Book get a little bit more involved game 2. They really can't do anything with Durant, but Durant just needs to make sure that he's just not alone.
Right.
And that's what the problem was. Inside the paint, Nurkic was looking solid. They was doing their job for the most part. They just can't afford to have key role players missing game 2. And that's what the problem was game 1. Because I took their solo over 106, and for them to not even clear 100, I was flabbergasted.
Right. I was not expecting a 25-point loss in game 1.
Because I didn't expect either way how the game was going to go for sure. I just knew that I felt that it was going to be heavy scoring in the game. But how it turned out, the Suns just was not woke. But I'm loving all these game 2s for the get back, for the revenge. I'm loving the Suns on the money line today. I mean, not today, tomorrow.
Yeah. Cam, any thoughts for you on this one?
Nah, same.
Yep.
Kevin Durant's gonna get 30. That's what Kevin Durant does. But I think Bradley Beal is essential especially in a series like this, because what you need to do with this defense is spread them out. When you have, Jaden McDaniels and these guys being able to help over on KD when he's getting guarded by Cat, it's a lot harder when you guys are not making shots. And like Greg said, I think D-Book easily bounces back, but Bradley Beal has to score more than 12 points for this team to actually be a productive team in the playoffs. And for them to say this is a big three, it does not feel like there's a third person within this big three. We know his name, but I don't see it on the court. I don't know if it's just been the injuries or what, but he's not consistent and he's just not worth the hassle as of right now. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he can bounce back tonight. Tomorrow. I like the Suns myself because I just can't bet against Kevin Durant in game 2. I just think he's going to make sure that they win. But Bradley Beal is essential because like Greg said, Nurk did his job. D-Book could have made more shots as well, but Bradley Beal has to have some type of production for this to go anywhere, period.
Yeah, it's funny that we have there's an Anthony Edwards in the chat right now that says Suns can't guard me.
That's what it looks like, though. That's what it looks like, though.
Right?
Seriously.
So I'll say I don't have an official play on this. I probably will closer to game time. So if you guys see that QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, if you guys scan that, that'll take you right to the Pick Management Network Discord, where you can find best bets for every sport, but especially the rest of our best bets for the games that you're not getting on the show. You'll have to sign up for the Discord, so just make sure to scan that. You'll find bonus plays from the entire Pick Management squad there. But before we do that, I got to say, I'm leaning the Suns here too. Plus 130 on the money line. Not official yet, but the Suns 10-2 straight up the last 12 versus Minnesota, 9-1 ATS. I think it was a little blip. You know what I mean? I do like the over in this one too. Didn't make it official, but the last 5 games between these two teams when the Suns are on the road have all gone over. And I think in addition to that, 4 out of the last 5 and overall have also gone over. Minnesota 5 out of the last 6. And 4 out of the last 5 versus the West have also all gone over. So I think we see more of a battle in this one, and I think 213.5 is just too low. If the T-Wolves just put up 120, I don't see them taking that much of a step back. I just see the Suns stepping up more. Next game up is the Pacers versus the Bucks tomorrow night, the 23rd at 8:30. Bucks minus 120 on the money line, minus 1.5 on the spread. Over under set at 224.5. Greg, thoughts on this one? I know you have a play, so let us know what you think.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the over on this game. I feel game 1, all these game 1s was just crazy. They got dominated by one guy, basically. He was on a mission, or he just couldn't miss, one of the two, all right? And it really just took a lot of the motion out of the Pacers. Being a fan watching, going like this here, you know. You know what I'm saying? When you do that and you're not focused, it takes your mind off the game. And some of their players was doing solid, but Siakam was all alone, okay? Like all alone. I don't expect that to happen game 2. I expect the game to be a little bit more balanced play with Nembhard and Halliburton and Turner showing up. I don't know which way it will go. I'm not going to say to choose a side, but I definitely know that both sides will for sure score. More than it looked like a lopsided game from game 1. Pacers just wasn't in it game 1.
It was just crazy. I mean, I just don't understand it. Pacers have kind of owned the Bucks recently. Before last night, they were 4-1 their last 5 versus the Bucks. Without Giannis, I mean, I just expected, honestly, the Pacers to roll. Greg and I were talking last night before the game. He was like, "Who are you on?" I'm like, "I'm on the Pacers, duh," and they just got smoked. But I'm just refiring here. I think the Pacers do have what it takes. I think the Bucks got lucky, and playing at home, I think, is what had a more of an impact on this game than skill wise. And I think the Pacers are going to advance here, so I'm going to keep firing on them. I like the plus 100 here. I just believe in this Pacers team. I didn't before, but I do now. I said it in the last show. What happens to a team with a historically good offense who's historically bad defense just gets a little bit better. And I think that's the situation we're in. The Bucks just 4-8 straight up and against the spread their last 12 games. And I really think that this Giannis injury is going to get to the team. And maybe, they rallied. Teams usually, when their star player goes down, they lose a coach, will rally the next game. I think that is all done. And I think the Pacers get a good win here. Any final thoughts on this one? For anybody?
Yes. Yeah. Well, for me, I think the Bucks are going to win tomorrow.
Okay.
What else, last night kind of showed me, and similar to what I've been saying all season, nobody traded for Damian Lillard for the first 82 games of the season. I think tomorrow will be more so the game where Bobby Portis probably gets to have a more free-flowing game. I think Indiana is young, and this is their first time. It'll come down to what Halliburton is able to do because, like Greg said, Pascal was out there by himself. But I do think with the way, and it's similar to the playoffs when the momentum starts riding one way, Dame barely scored in the second half. They were just up by so much that it didn't matter at that point. So it was by committee. So if they come back in with the same mentality tomorrow, and it's going to be interesting too for somebody like Chris Middleton because he was really the glue guy, the person that was kind of in between. He got a good amount of assists. He even got a block last night. I took him for under a block on the ticket. And I was like, wait, what? He's got a block. So I think it'll be a very interesting game. But I think they'll kind of keep riding this wave until they hit game 3 in Indiana. And then that's when I think Indiana will kind of bring them back down to reality. But I think they'll keep riding this wave tomorrow. I think they'll keep it going a little bit more. And then we'll see what we're looking like, game 3, because I think Indiana will come out, punch them in the mouth in game 3 for sure.
Definitely.
That's why it's over right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so tomorrow night at late tip, 10 o'clock, Mavs take on the Clippers. Mavs minus 150 on the money line, minus 3 on the spread, over under set at 218. I'll start off with this one. This is the tricky game. Honestly, I stayed away from it in the first one. I kind of feel like staying away from it in this one. I did not make an official play. Yeah, I don't have an official play on this one. No. It's a scary matchup. But, I thought we'd get a better performance out of both of these teams. The Clippers beating Dallas, how they did, not letting them break 100, I think was just disgusting. And the fact that the books are just refiring on Dallas here, like, am I missing something? Like, I feel like I'm missing something. The Clippers have the pieces, are at home, have the defense. I get that this Dallas team 15-5 ATS and against the spread and straight up their last 20. But this Clippers team is no slouch. And they were number 1 in the West for most of the season for a reason. And I think that they can get it done here again. I haven't decided if I'm going to make this official or not because it is risky and I feel like I'm missing something. So I'm going to do a little bit deeper dive. But Cam, any thoughts for you on this one?
Yeah, similar to the Milwaukee game, I'm interested to see if the Clippers can kind of keep riding that wave they did. I don't like betting against Luka how you are against LeBron. I just don't like betting against Luka, especially not against the Clippers.
Yeah, right.
But schematic, it's interesting because they have guys like PJ Washington, Dante Exum, guys that don't really have playoff experience. Daniel Gafford. These aren't guys that are coming into this game knowing what the stakes are. So that's why Kyrie was really on their ass yesterday. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, we got to pick this up. Like, you guys don't know. Once they smell blood, it's over. So I think it'll be a very interesting game. I don't really want to take a side either. I took Dallas to go over 102 on a long ticket yesterday, and they couldn't even do that. So it's like the unpredictability of a game like this is one of those games I probably stay away. I probably would take Kyrie for 20. I'll probably take Luka for whatever his points are at. I know those two are going to play, but when you get, 40, 50 from them and the rest of the team doesn't even score that much, how do you expect to win? You know what I mean? So it's going to be a very interesting game. And it'll be interesting to see how Jason Kidd tries to make some adjustments because Ty Lue is really good with the X's and O's. And I think one thing that they did well was wear Luka down. They didn't really stop Luka, but they were able to make Luka exert a lot of energy that he usually doesn't have to defensively and oftentimes offensively where he's dribbling a little bit more than he has to. So it'll be a very interesting game. I don't want to pick a side today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today for sure.
Sure. Greg, thoughts for you on this one?
I took a side.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe, like I say, all this game, it was just game ones. Okay. It was just game ones. But Cam made some good, compelling points. Dallas does have a new roster that's filling in the gaps, and a lot of them haven't been in the playoffs yet, which is why Luka and Kyrie had 60 between the two of them, and the rest of the team was really nowhere to be found. But let's just contribute that to just their first game won. You know what I'm saying? I believe that the way the league is playing now, the type of talent that's in the league, it's not going to be a big factor like it was back in the day when people make it to the playoffs, especially when you have key vets around you. All right, the way that this looked game one, it just looked like Clippers was just doing all the right moves. All right. That's why they had 4 guys dropping 20 on the Mavs. Kyrie and Luka was trying to do too much and keeping them in due to the fact that their team was missing shots that was capable of them always making. All right. So I took the Mavs. I'm just going to take the money. I'm not worrying about no spread or none of that. I'm just going to take the money. And excuse me, and hope that they show a better team effort overall, because I do feel like I said they match up well with the Clippers and they can give the Clippers problems. But if you're just going to give them, open lane, then of course they're going to take it. But I feel, the film will be seen and it will be adjustments made. And I feel the series will be 1-1. Mavs will win game 2.
This Mavs team played 1 million players. It says they played 14 different guys last night.
Powell only played a minute.
You know what I mean? Like just for like a minute, you know what I mean? But still, that deep bench is serious. I was just looking over. I was like, damn, they really played that many people last night. But something to think of, that I was just looking at some stats. I might put a little sprinkle on Luka triple-double in this series. He was really close last night, and if he's going to have to take over for this team to win, I could see him hitting a triple-double at some point in the series. So sprinkling like a quarter unit on that could be pretty profitable. I'll let you know when I fire on that officially, but nothing. I'm not taking anything in this one. I wish the Clippers.
I was going to say possibly doubling up with Halliburton and Luka triple-double, because Hallie got close last night. He had a really bad game, but he finished with like 9, 7, and 8. And I think for them to win tomorrow, I think he is going to have a pretty impactful game on all sides, in all
Definitely.
facets. So I think
I'd even be looking for a double-double. I don't know what the price is on that. I'll check it on the next game when you guys are talking, but I'll check it out. So tomorrow, this is the 24th, so this will be Wednesday. The Heat taking on the Celtics. This Celtics team, I think, sent out a warning shot to the entire league that we are not fucking around. We just blew through this Miami team like they were a G League team, and they are trying to do this in 4 so they can have some rest. And I think whoever they take on in the next round is going to be in trouble too. This Miami team, 1-7 straight up. Their last 8 versus Boston. So they're not even good, outside of the playoffs. This Boston team 16-4 straight up, 16-1 their last 17 at home. The over is hit in 11 out of their last 15. So I'm all over Boston here. I didn't take an official play on this one. I am saving this for the Discord, but I have a bunch of plays going for this. So that was just my little tease for you guys. If you want it, scan the QR code. But Cam, thoughts for you on this one?
Yeah, I like Boston to win. But I do like Tyler Hero's points. I think Tyler's going to have enough. I like Tyler Hero and Sam Hauser's threes. I don't know what the number may be at, but I took him on a small ladder with a friend of mine for 4, 5, and 6. So we were over there like, oh, okay, yeah, this is on cue. Boston has an opportunity in this series to take a lot of pressure off of Tatum and Brown and let the role players really play at a high level and let them win these games. Without Jimmy Butler, it's really hard for this team to create offense consistently. Even though DeLon Wright has been an amazing surprise over the last few games, I think it's just Boston's just too much. They should win this 4-0, but I think Miami could easily pull out one in game 4. But I think Boston continues to kind of dominate this series. I think it'll be closer for sure, but I think they'll pull away in the 4th. Boston will pull away at home in the 4th for sure.
I'm sorry. I did have an official play on this one. I'm on Celtics team total over 111.5. And for all the reasons Cam just said, Miami might steal one, like you said, when they get back home. But I really just think that this Boston team is going to be scoring a lot of points. And if Miami is going to win, they're going to have to do it. So somebody's going to have to step up for that Jimmy role and really start producing. Greg, any thoughts for you on this one?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. The Heat have a player who's on Team USA, and if I was him right now, I'd be trying to get my numbers up, and that's Bam Adebayo. All right, so I would expect Bam points over to be an easy cash as well. He's been pretty dominant on them. He dropped 24 on them this game right here, and like you said, he really knows he has no help himself. But if I was him, I'll be worrying about keeping myself together. So there's no better time right now with no Jimmy Butler, and a lot of the attention is going to come his way. I expect Bam points over.
I took him over 16.5. I think that's what they had him at. So he easily cashed that in the third quarter.
Points and rebounds over probably also is good too.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say too. But also Jaylen Brown is not playing. Like, I don't know. He must have heard everything they've been saying. But Jaylen Brown, he ain't going for none of it. Like, he is with it every game against them, specifically how Tyrese Maxey be going at Miami. Jaylen Brown let them know in the first game, like, look, I'm not taking it easy on y'all. Like, y'all gonna get all of it for all of that smack y'all been talking for shit.
It's that Bernice.
Right. For
sure. Okay, so last game up, Wednesday night, 9:30, the Pelicans take on OKC. OKC minus 7.5 on the money line, minus 310. I'm sorry, minus 7.5 on the spread, minus 310 on the money line. The over/under set at 211.5. Man, Pelicans, just did not look very good. Neither of these teams did. I get that the OKC had a 2-point win, but for Pelicans to score 92, it just shows how important Zion is to that team. I think OKC kind of had just a little blip. They got the win. I think this game is going to be completely different. I think that they're going to cover the spread. I didn't make that official yet. I'll probably take it down to 6 again because my number has it. My model has it at 6, so that's what I've been riding. But I did take the OKC team total over 110.5. I think it's still too low. OKC has been scoring points all season long. I mean, before yesterday's game, they had not been held under 100 points in at least 10 games. Right. I mean, that's as far back as my game log goes right now. Huh?
It's 15. It's 15, by the way. I had checked.
Oh, 15. Okay. My page doesn't go back that far.
I know.
So just crazy that they didn't last night. But I really think that they'll regroup, be at home. I don't think they like performing like that in front of their home fans. So at least they're going to cover their team total. I do like the spread. I'll probably be looking at a first half too. Make sure you check the socials in the Discord for that. Greg, any thoughts for you on this one?
I wanted you guys to remember that I told y'all the Pelicans played them well.
He did tell us.
Also, their last 3 games in OKC have all went under. So despite them being as strong as they are, this might just be OKC's kryptonite without them knowing it's their kryptonite.
Sure.
If I was to do anything, I would expect the under again. And I would expect probably more one-on-ones from Shy. And that's what they're going to probably have to do, you know what I'm saying, to take it like that. But CJ McCollum also, he knows too, he needs to be productive, and that's going to be a lot of one-on-ones. And if you're doing a lot of one-on-ones, that means low-scoring game.
Yep.
I want to say, I think the biggest thing, 2 things I like in this game. I do like Isaiah Joe to go over his points tomorrow. Wednesday. Isaiah is somebody, he's just another energy guy. But I think OKC is going to go at just as deep, if not a little deeper into their bench for game 2, just to test the depth of New Orleans after playing so many games over the last few games. I think Brandon Ingram probably goes over if they have him at 23 or 24.5. I think he knows, similar to what Greg said, he has to step up for them to be productive. I do think OKC should win this game. I think they showed us last night, similar to Minnesota, a lot of people were doubting how they would come out and play, but they seem like they're up for the task. So I'm excited to see what will happen. But officially, I probably will take those points for. I started saying so many different names.
That's right.
Isaiah Joe. I will. Probably
gotcha. All right.
For sure.
Right
for
on.
Sure.
All right. Cool. Well, hey, listen. That was a great job, you guys. Let's go ahead and recap our best bets. Cam, what do you go ahead and recap your best bets?
Yeah. So I just have a pretty good. Concise list for today. Denver minus 7.5, covering that full spread. Philly to be within that 5. I think they have a chance to even be within 3. So if you want to juice it up for some plus money, I like LA and Denver to go under 224. Love Wendell Carter to go over 6.5 points and Christian Braun to go over 5.5 points as well.
Awesome. And where can people find you on socials and all the stuff you got going on?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at @1CamCarter, Twitter at CamWriting_. I'm a sports writer at Baller Alert, and I have my own player management company. So if you have a little brother or cousin, a niece, call me. We don't mind helping you guys get them set up and get them going for sure.
Right on. All right, Greg, you can go ahead and recap your plays.
For sure. Well, I got the Magic tying it up game 2 plus 185. If you want, you can take the points for sure. I love the New York Knicks game under 207 total. The Lakers should come back to tie game 2, plus 230 for me, but you can take the points. I love the Suns to come back to get game 2, plus 130, but you can take them with the points. I love the Milwaukee Pacer game to go over. Like I said, I feel that it should just be more even offense for both sides. So that 225 is kind of low for a Pacer game. And I'm going to take the Mavs head up to come back to tie game 2.
Excellent. And where can people find you on all your socials and whatnot?
Yeah, right now Instagram is probably really the best place to find me. Buku_Living Billionaires. Or if you go to the search, you can just type in Smackington and I'll pop right up.
And we're also getting both of these guys will be all set up in the Discord. All of their stuff from their social media will be posting right to the Discord server, so you can find all of their great info, articles, free plays, all that stuff, all in one place. And we're going to be stepping it up with Cam and Greg in the near future. So I'll recap mine. We'll get you guys out of here. I am on Sixers team total over 100.5. Philly versus the Knicks over 205. Celtics team total over 111. Sixers plus 8. Knicks -3. Denver first half. It's -2. I'm sorry about the typo. Denver team total over 115.5. Pacers plus 100 on the money line, and OKC team total over 110.5. You guys can find me here daily on the NHL Betting Insiders. We'll be returning for that Game 2 show tomorrow. Of course, right here on the NBA show. Weekly on the MLS Betting Insiders, Betting the Pitch Europe and UEFA. And you make sure you catch TJ every day on In5. Daily best bets in 5 minutes or less right here on the Pick Management Network. You can also find me now on GiveMeSport.com. It's a great site for all sorts of articles. I'm their new senior NFL writer, and also on Last Word on Sports, as I am their new senior basketball writer. This has been the one more time. This has been the NBA Betting Insiders. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Pick Management. We will see you later.
On stepping, I'm a rockstar, Ramones. House the number, cribbo, got too many rooms. I got